All right, so we're going to unpack this article about mixed signals in dating. And, it's from EliteSingles.
Okay.
And we're really doing a deep dive today because, honestly, who hasn't had that moment where they're just like, wait, do they like me or not?
Yeah, it's like a dating rite of passage, you know?
Totally. So we don't need to do dating one-on-one. You already know that.
Right.
But we want to, go to that next level.
Yeah, like how to tell, the difference between like when someone is really busy versus like they're just stringing you along.
Right.
Or even like, those subtle actions that tell you more than words ever could.
Yes, because, they say communication is key,
Mm-hmm.
but it's hard to know what to communicate when you're getting these mixed signals.
Right. And that's where like the psychology of it all comes in. Like, why do people send mixed signals?
Right.
Is it on purpose all the time?
Right.
And how can you see those patterns that really matter?
Okay, I am ready to decode all of this.
Okay.
So let's just start with a simple definition.
Okay.
What are mixed signals? Even Merriam-Webster says, it's thoughts or feelings that are different from each other. But how does that actually play out in dating?
Well, it's all about inconsistency.
Okay.
So, like, imagine someone saying all the right things.
Yeah.
Maybe they're showering you with compliments, attention.
Yeah.
But then their actions don't match up.
Okay, so they're texting you nonstop for a day and then gone for 3 days.
Exactly. Or like they're all over you PDA at home. But then when you're out in public, it's like they don't even know you.
Oh.
So it's that disconnect between like what they're saying and what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's mixed signal.
Okay, and why is it so important to spot these inconsistencies? Because a little mystery can be exciting.
It can fuel that early spark.
Right.
But like if you are always trying to figure out mixed signals, that's not a relationship. That's an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
So if you can see those patterns early, it can save you a lot of heartache.
And isn't it more empowering to be able to say, hey, this isn't working for me, instead of just waiting around?
Yes, you got to respect yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so let's dive into some of these examples.
Yeah.
This one, the article talks about that awkward end of date.
Oh, yeah.
When the date goes well and then it's just a side hug. What's your take?
Well, it's tricky because some people are just, more reserved, especially in the beginning.
Sure.
But if it was a really great date, there's usually something
Okay.
that shows they want to see you again.
Yeah.
Like they'll linger when they say goodbye, or they'll suggest a second date something.
Got it.
Yeah.
So no kiss doesn't automatically mean they're not interested, but it's something to think about.
Yeah, I'd keep that in mind.
Okay, what about the texting, the inconsistent texting? That's a classic.
Oh, that's practically an epidemic.
Yeah.
But we all have busy lives.
True.
So like a slow text here and there, it's normal.
Yeah.
But if it's all the time, like one day they're super responsive and then the next day nothing, that's a problem.
Yeah, because it's you're not a priority. They're just reaching out when it's convenient for them.
Exactly. And that can mess with your self-esteem.
Totally.
And it makes you anxious because you overthink everything.
Yay!
Like, did I say the wrong thing? Are they losing interest?
Right, it's exhausting.
It is.
Okay, this one, I relate to talking the talk, but not walking the walk.
Oh, yeah. All words, no action.
Yes, exactly. They say they want a deep connection. They want, a meaningful relationship, but then they don't want to have those vulnerable conversations, or they never seem to have time for you.
It's like they're putting on a show, but then like their actions are telling a different story.
Right.
And it's so confusing because what they say sounds so good.
Yeah, you want to believe them, but then their behavior is just not matching up.
Right. It's where you have to look at those little things they do. Like, are they actually trying to spend time with you?
Yeah.
Do they do what they say they're going to do?
So actions speak louder.
Yes, they do.
Okay, what about the opposite of that? When they want you to open up and be vulnerable, but they stay guarded.
Ooh, that can feel manipulative, especially if it keeps happening.
Yeah.
It's like this imbalance where you're putting yourself out there, but they're not.
Right.
And that can be really draining because you're always giving and you're not getting anything back.
Right, exactly. Healthy relationships got to go both ways.
You do.
Yeah.
You both have to be vulnerable and share who you really are.
Okay, social media. This one feels relevant.
Yeah.
They're liking all your posts, but never reply to your texts.
Right. It's like, hello, I'm right here.
Right. Why are you engaging publicly but ignoring me privately?
Exactly.
So confusing. Is it a power play? Are they trying to keep up a certain image online?
I mean, it's easy to overthink these things, especially if you're already feeling a little insecure.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just that they use different apps for different things.
Okay.
Like maybe Instagram is for casual scrolling, but texting is for people they're closer to.
So maybe they're just not that into texting.
Could be. But if it keeps happening, You have to ask yourself, are they really trying to build something with you?
Yeah, or are they just keeping their options open?
Could be.
Speaking of, let's talk about public flirting. Out. This one stings.
Oh, yeah. It's one thing to be friendly and outgoing,
Right.
but there's a line between that and flirting.
Yeah, and it feels so disrespectful
Totally.
when they're flirting with other people right in front of you.
Yeah. It's like they're saying, I don't care about you, and I don't care if you know.
Yeah, not exactly building a healthy relationship.
Not at all.
So what about the opposite? Lots of affection when you're alone, but then you're out in public and they act like you're strangers?
Yeah, some people aren't comfortable with PDA,
Right.
but if it feels like they're hiding your relationship, that's a big red flag.
Yeah, like are they not as single as they're pretending to be?
Could be, or maybe they're just not ready to include you in their life.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a conversation you need to have.
Okay, for sure. This one, they say they're dying to see you,
Okay.
but then they never actually make plans.
Classic words versus actions.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in what they say.
Right.
But what really matters is if they do it.
So instead of getting hung up on the, I'm so busy, but I want to see you,
Right.
we should be looking for them to make an effort.
Exactly. Are they actually suggesting times to get together? Or is it always vague?
Okay.
Are they asking you out as much as you're asking them out?
So those details actually show what they really want.
Exactly.
Okay. Last but not least, the avoider of the define the relationship talk.
Oh, yeah. The master of disappearing in vague answers.
Yes. You're feeling this connection. You're ready for the next step, and then poof, they're gone. Or they change the subject.
Yeah, and that's so frustrating because we just want things to be clear.
Totally.
We want to know where we stand.
Yeah, like what are we doing?
If they won't talk about it, it usually means they're not ready for that.
Okay.
Or they're just not into you.
So how do we navigate all of this?
Yeah.
It's easy to overanalyze every text, every interaction, every, like, on social media.
It is, you're right. It can make you so stressed and anxious.
Yeah.
You have to stop focusing on what they're doing and focus on yourself.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
So instead of getting lost in what does it all mean,
right.
we should think about what feels right for us.
Yes, trust your intuition. If something feels off,
Yeah.
don't ignore it. Yeah, don't ignore those red flags.
Okay, so if my gut is screaming mixed signals, what do I do?
Talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, instead of like sitting there overthinking and agonizing,
Right.
just talk to the person you're dating about it.
So just have an open and honest conversation about what's going on.
Exactly. It's the best way to, clear the air and understand where they're at.
Now, if you try to talk about it and they, like, shut down or they won't even acknowledge it,
Yeah.
that's a red flag.
Huge. Yeah, you should probably think about if this is even worth it.
Right, because avoiding hard conversations is not a good sign.
Not at all.
Okay, so we've talked about, like, what mixed signals are and the different types
Right.
and how confusing they can be. But why are people sending these mixed signals in the first place? Is it always, like, games or fear of commitment?
Not always, actually. It's important to remember that mixed signals aren't always on purpose.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just that the person is insecure, or maybe they don't even realize they're doing it.
So they're not being malicious. They're just clueless.
Yeah, think about it. We've all been there where we're not sure what we want or how we feel.
Right.
Maybe we have baggage from old relationships, or we're scared of getting hurt, or we're just not ready for something serious.
Yeah, we're all works in progress, figuring it out as we go.
Exactly.
So sometimes it's not even about us. It's them and their own stuff.
Totally. And that's important to remember because it can help you not take things so personally.
Oh, that's such a good point.
Yeah,
Takes the pressure off of trying to figure out every little thing.
it does. You don't have to solve the puzzle every time.
Right.
Sometimes you just got to give people a little grace. They're complicated.
Wow, this conversation has been like a total game changer. I feel like I'm looking at mixed signals in a whole new way. It's not just about the frustration. It's like remembering that everyone's on their own journey.
Exactly. It's about understanding, all the little things about how people act and being empathetic and, having compassion.
And remembering that we deserve to be with someone who's honest with us and treats us with respect.
Yes, you deserve that.
Okay, so are there like actual strategies for attracting people who are clear with their intentions? Like, is there some secret formula?
I wish there was a formula. Dating is never that simple.
Right.
But there are definitely things you can do to avoid those mixed signals.
Okay, tell me everything.
First, you got to be clear about what you want and communicate that.
Okay.
Like, don't be afraid to say what you're looking for in a relationship.
So from the beginning, just like set the stage for open and honest communication.
Exactly. Let them know what you're hoping for, whether it's casual or serious or whatever.
That makes so much sense. You can weed out the people who aren't on the same page.
Exactly.
Okay. Good tip.
Yeah.
What else?
Pay attention to how they communicate with you, both what they say and what they do.
Okay.
Are they consistent? Are they doing what they say they're going to
Joe,
do?
it's about that alignment between words and actions.
Uh,
Are they making an effort to see you?
Exactly.
Are they initiating plans?
Yes, actions speak louder than words.
Okay, good one.
And don't be afraid to ask questions.
Okay.
If something isn't clear or it seems inconsistent, just ask. It's better to talk about it early than to let things build up.
So if something feels off or I'm getting like those mixed vibes, don't just like sit and stew about it.
Right.
Talk about
It
it.
might be awkward, but it shows that you respect yourself and you value your time. You're not going to waste your energy on someone who can't communicate.
And if they're not open to that conversation,
Yeah,
that's a sign
it is.
that maybe they're not the right person.
Exactly. Which brings us to the final strategy. Trust your gut.
Oh, our intuition is so important.
It is. It's like your inner compass, guiding you.
Yeah. But sometimes it's hard to trust it, especially when you really like someone.
I know.
What if they're saying all the right things,
Yeah.
but my gut is like, mixed signals.
Don't ignore it. Your intuition is there to protect you.
Okay.
It's trying to lead you to healthy relationships.
So even if I really, really like them, I should pay attention to those red flags.
Yes, you should.
Okay. Good to know. This has been so insightful. I feel like I have all these new tools for dating.
Good.
It's like you've given me a map for navigating the world of mixed signals.
Remember, dating is a journey, not a destination.
I like that.
And it's okay to, make mistakes and change your mind along the way.
And sometimes those wrong turns
Yeah.
lead you to where you're supposed to be. You know, it's funny, as we've been talking, I've been thinking maybe the problem isn't the mixed signals themselves.
Oh,
It's
no.
how we react to them.
That's a good point because a lot of times it's our own insecurities,
Right.
and past experiences that make us see things a certain way.
So like maybe they're just having a bad day. Yeah.
And we're already jumping to, oh, no, they're not into me anymore.
Exactly. We all have baggage.
Right.
And sometimes, those old hurts can make us really sensitive.
Yeah, so how do we break out of that cycle? How do we stop bringing all that baggage into every new relationship?
Well, it starts with knowing yourself. What are your triggers?
Okay.
What are those things that make you feel insecure, especially when you're dating?
So basically, work on myself before I even start swiping.
Exactly. Because the more secure you are, the less those mixed signals are going to bother you.
Oh, that makes sense because at the end of the day, we can't control how other people act.
Right.
But we can control how we react.
Read it.
So instead of trying to figure out their mixed signals,
Yeah,
we should focus on how we feel.
exactly. Are they treating you with respect? Do you feel valued? Are they meeting your needs?
And if the answer is no,
Yeah.
maybe it's time to move on.
It might be because you deserve to be with someone who makes you feel good, someone who does what they say, and someone who's excited to be with you. I love that this has been such an eye-opening conversation. We didn't just talk about, spotting mixed signals. We talked about what makes a relationship good.
Right. It's about building a connection that feels secure and, you can trust the person.
And knowing that we get to choose who we let into our lives and how we want to be treated.
Exactly. You deserve a love that feels right.
Yeah. Yes, I love that. Well, listener, we hope this deep dive has given you the tools and confidence to navigate dating,
Yeah, we got this.
Until next time, stay curious, stay open-hearted, and don't settle.